Belgium has shattered Western unity, moving to recognize Palestine at the UN and sanction Israel, even as Washington doubles down on shielding Netanyahu. Brussels frames it as a stand against genocide. Israel denounces it as support for terror, and the US strips Palestinian leaders of visas. The cracks are clear. Europe pushes for accountability, America clings to impunity, and Israel faces unprecedented isolation. Belgium will recognise the State of Palestine at the United Nations General Assembly in September, Belgian Foreign Minister Maxime Prevot announced. He announced in a detailed post on X,
Palestine will be recognized by Belgium during the UN General Assembly, and strong sanctions will be imposed on the Israeli government. Any anti-Semitism or glorification of terrorism by Hamas supporters will also be prosecuted more vigorously. Given the humanitarian drama unfolding in Palestine, and particularly in Gaza, and in the face of the violence committed by Israel in violation of international law, taking into account its international obligations, including the duty to prevent any risk of genocide, Belgium had to take strong decisions to increase pressure on the Israeli government and the terrorists of Hamas. This is not about sanctioning the Israeli people, but about ensuring that international and humanitarian law is respected by its government and acting in the hope of evolving the situation on the ground.
As part of its stance, Belgium plans to implement 12 sanctions against Israel, including restrictions on products from Israeli settlements and a review of procurement policies with Israeli companies. The decision underscores Belgium's intent to pressure both the Israeli government and Hamas to foster a tangible political resolution in alignment with the United Nations directives. In July, French President Emmanuel Macron said France would recognize a Palestinian state at the UN meeting, due to be held from September 9th to 23 in New York. More than a dozen other Western countries have since called on others to do the same. France and Saudi Arabia will co-host the meeting on Palestinian recognition during the UNGA on September 22nd. Australia, Canada, and the United Kingdom have also said they plan to recognise Palestine this month, with conditions. Meanwhile, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas told Al Arabiya and Al Hadath that Israel wants to destroy all of Palestine in an interview on September 1st.
Netanyahu does not want a fully fledged Palestinian state. We recognized Israel since 1988, yet Israel still prevents the establishment of a Palestinian state.
He went on to say that the Palestinian Authority is ready to take over Gaza's governance, and we have the capabilities for it. As of April this year, some 147 countries, representing 75% of UN members, had already recognized Palestinian statehood. Israel and the United States have strongly criticized countries moving to recognize Palestine, with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio describing France's announcement as a reckless decision that only serves Hamas propaganda. Earlier on August 30th, Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar rebuked his Belgian counterpart Maxime Prevot over the latter's support for the Palestinian Authority, saying that it serves only the interests of the terrorists, not dialogue, not peace.
Your unbalanced blind support of the Palestinians serves only the interests of the terrorists, not dialogue, not peace. You consistently ignore the facts. The pay-for-slay laws in the PA rewarding terrorists and their families for terror. The terrible incitement in their schools and textbooks. Their support of terror. None of it has changed, speaking of commitments. Therefore, your support for a Palestinian state is clearly a support of a terror state, a basis for further attacks on Israel on October 7th like atrocities.
Saar's post came after Maxime Prevot criticized the US decision to deny visas to Palestinian representatives ahead of the UN General Assembly, calling it deeply regrettable and a blow to diplomacy. Saar said that instead of criticizing the United States over its decision to deny visas to Palestinian representatives, Belgium should focus on the PA's legal warfare against Israel. Notably, on August 29th, the US State Department announced that it is denying new visas and revoking old ones from individuals associated with the Palestine Liberation Organization and the Palestinian Authority, ahead of the UN General Assembly annual debate on September 9th. The department, headed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, rescinded the visas of PA Chief Mahmoud Abbas and 80 other Palestinian officials, according to the Associated Press. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump said he was surprised that Israel's once strongest lobby in Congress no longer holds the same influence as Americans. Both Democrats and Republicans are criticizing the Israeli army's offensive in Gaza. In an Oval Office interview with the Daily Caller on August 29th, which was published on September 1st, Trump reflected on the shift over the past 2 decades. 2 decades ago, Israel had the strongest lobby in Congress of anything or body, he said. Today, it doesn't have that strong a lobby. It's amazing.
Israel was the strongest. Today, it doesn't have that strong a lobby. It's amazing. There was a time where you couldn't speak bad. If you wanted to be a politician, you couldn't speak badly. But today, you have AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, +3, and you have all these lunatics. And they've changed it. Israel was the strongest lobby I've ever seen. They had total control over Congress. And now they don't, I'm a little surprised to see that.
His remarks came in response to a question citing a March Pew poll showing that 53% of US adults now view Israel unfavorably, up from 42% in 2022. The interviewer noted a growing bloc within the MAGA-aligned America First Republicans, skeptical of support for Israel. Israel has killed more than 63,000 Palestinians in Gaza since October 2023. The military campaign has devastated the enclave, which is facing famine. Last November, the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for war crimes and crimes against humanity in Gaza. Israel also faces a genocide case at the International Court of Justice for its war on the enclave.